Yo, what's going on? Sniper Duke is back with another weekly recap. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, so do trade at your own risk and I'm not responsible. And there's also something else I should say, but I can't really remember. So, oh yes, that's right. What these videos are. So, in these weekly recaps, I just go over the trades I took from previous week, and then I just go over like some things I could have done better and some trades that I missed. Now, this week I didn't really miss too many trades that I was upset about. I did make some mistakes, and we did end the week on a green, and so there's a positive there. And it was a pretty good week for me actually in terms of trading. So I've actually not been keeping up with my journal, fellas, so that's really bad. But it's because I post all my screenshots and I do most of my journaling stuff now on my Discord, but I will be actually just finishing off my journal on stream, which will be happening shortly on Sundays, 9 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we can see that I'm recording this video, it's at 4:40, so I'll be streaming in about a few hours and finishing off my journal there. And I do have a lot of stuff to do on that journal, so I'll just head into my first pair on the Discord. I'll see you there. Alrighty, so we're actually on the Discord now, and the first trade that I took this week was actually a sell on my Euro CAD pair. And now let's just take a look at the entry. So if I just use this, because this was my entry position and I posted in the Discord, so let me tell you what I see here. I can see it was in this uptrend here, and then it started to just range sideways a bit, showing that it was losing momentum, and it breaks structure over here. We can see that it creates a lower low down here, and it's unable to create a higher high above this previous point, which is like up there somewhere. So I'm taking that into account, so that loss of momentum there is also shown again over here. So we can then see that this uptrend is losing momentum, and then we can see that it breaks here, retests, and then goes down, and then it breaks here, but then it comes back up. So now here I did see this break and I saw it come back up, and then I was interested in just using my fib to see where a possible entry could be. Now in my trading strategy, I like this 0.5 level and this 0.6 level to kind of be within this key level structure. So we can see that if I move my support level up to the bodies of the candles, then it would have been in line with this 0.5 level. That's something that I should have done, taking a look back at it now, but you live and you learn, and so you just aim to improve in the future. We can also see that when I was using these fibs, we can see that there was heaps of rejection on this 0.6 candle, and then back on this 0.5 candle I entered in, and I was looking for my take profit down to this previous market structure. So let's see what happened. Here we can see that it didn't hit a key level, but I'm just testing this new pair out, and then I accidentally took 2 trades on this because I accidentally closed it. So we can see I accidentally closed this trade while I was gaming, but reopened it here. So I reopened it just a few pips below this 0.5 level. Now I know that sounds really dumb, but I actually just had the trade open, and then as I was playing, my hand just slipped and it tapped like the closed trade thing on my MetaTrader phone, because it's right next to my keyboard, and it just closed the trade. So I just quickly reopened it, and then if we take a look, let's see, whoops, here we can see that I ended up closing it here because it did start coming back up, and I didn't really like this position, so I did close it before the stop loss, and that was the trade that I took there. But if we take a look right now at this Euro CAD pair, let's go have a look right now. Here we can see that it didn't actually hit the stop loss, and it just simply hit the take profit. So this could have been a nice 70 pips that I gained this week if I had just simply trusted my analysis. And also what I could have done is just move this up, but you know, you live and you learn. And so heading into next week, I'm just going to once again just rely on my own analysis and try to improve. Now something else that I realized is that I could have used my fib chart from up here, this level here. We can, what the heck, oh yeah, there we go. We can see that this here would have been a much better entry, as we can see a lot of rejection at this 0.5 level. Now if we had entered in there, we can see that there's a possible 113 pips that could have been bagged. So that was that trade that I took there. So that's just what happened on the Euro CAD pair. And heading on to the next pair that I took, so I took 2 trades on this Euro CAD pair, and I took 5 trades in total, and the next trade was on USD CHF. So heading into this Euro CHF pair, we can just see that all well I can see. I did close this trade early. First of all, you can see that I wanted to target these lows here, but I did close at 18 pips profit, so around there. Now what I was seeing here was that it was kind of in this downtrend here. We can see there's a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So I was in this downtrend structure. Now as I was in this downtrend, I'd used the fib from this high down to this low, and then I was looking for a nice entry. We can also see that we can see a baseline level of support there, and then so I just used that level and simply just dragged it across. And then we can also see that with the fib, that level lines up within this 0.61 to 0.5 area, and so that's why I was looking for my entry. And then I entered in on this candle after seeing the rejection. If I just zoom in here, we can see there was a bit of rejection there. Oops, I think I just moved my fib. Let me just move my Fibonacci back. There we go. And then we can just see that it was kind of moving sideways, so I wasn't really too happy with it. And then as it was coming back down here, I ended up closing it because I didn't really trust once again in my analysis for this pair. And then so I simply closed it at least a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. But once again, my analysis was pretty good, and we can see that if I had just let it run for about 5-6 more hours, I would have closed that for 40 pips, and that would have been a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and I would have been cheering. So we can see that this week there was 2 trades that I didn't actually get the full rewards out of because I simply just closed them early and I didn't trust my analysis. So heading on to the next week's, once again the aim here is to just focus on my analysis and to trust in my own analysis so that I can get these bigger trades going. So that's what happened on the USD CHF pair. So that trade there was a winner. Could have done better. If I trusted my analysis, I didn't. So we'll just try and improve on that in the coming week. So I'll see you guys in the next pair, which is on UJ. Alrighty, so heading into my UJ pair, this was an extremely risky trade that I took. At the time it didn't really seem too risky. I did end up closing this trade early because I just had some intuition telling me that it's not going the way that I'd like it to go, so I ended up closing. You can see that this here is really kind of where I closed it, at the top of this candlestick, which I got pretty lucky taking a look back at it. So let's just go over what I was thinking. So taking a look here, I can see that it's in this now downtrend, but then it ends up breaking structure over here. We can see that it breaks structure because it doesn't end up creating a lower low. We can see that it actually creates a higher low here, and then a higher low here, higher low here, and then like there's just an equal low to that. But anyway, sorry guys, I'm actually so sick recently, I do not know why, but I'm trying to get these videos out because we're just consistent. So this week's video may not be pretty good because I am sick, but you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do. So what I was thinking was that because it broke structure, and I was thinking that it's starting to reverse now, so because of just my intuition that it's going to reverse as a pair, what I did was I used my fib chart from this low up to this high, and I could see that this 0.5 level was showing a bit of rejection, as well as this 0.6 level when this dropped down. So I used the fib chart, I can see the key levels in between it, and then I saw that on the key level there was some further rejection here, right there. If I'm gonna have to zoom in on it. Here we can see that there's some rejection there, and so what I initially did was I targeted these highs here for 35 pips, but then I was watching this trade pretty aggressively once again, and I was just keeping a close eye on it. I saw that it was coming up to here, and it wasn't really looking too promising that it was going to continue higher and above that. So I ended up closing this position, and then we can see that it ended up going and hitting my stop loss. So I'm really happy that this trade also went and hit my profit, I guess. This here we can see it's almost a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. There's about 3 pips difference. But also guys, there was this guy in my Discord group who actually put a sell position from here all the way down to here, and that would have been 117 pips, and he had a pretty tight stop loss, probably something like that. So that was his trade. He bloody went nuts. He was happy as about that trade, and so this trade here went well. I'm really happy about it. So we can see that I closed this trade here. Wait, USD CAD, wait, let me go back. What the heck, I meant to go to Euro CAD. So I closed this at a little bit of profit by accident, but then I ended up closing this at a loss. So that was the one loss that I took this week. Then we go to USD CHF. Here we can just see that that was a winner. I did close this one early though, but it still was a winner. Then we can see that my USD JPY pair was also a winner here. And then now I actually did take a trade on USD CAD, and it was this trade here. But I did end up closing this trade early as well. So the reason why I closed this trade early, if I'm completely honest, I do not know why. And once again, that was a mistake. So let's just talk about it, right? And talk about why I entered this position, some things I could do better and that sort of stuff. But we did end the week on a green. 4 out of the 5 trades were in profit, so that's good. Hopefully we can keep it up, and the account is actually up 10% this week. So let's just get into it. What I'm saying here is that it's in this overall downtrend here. Taking a look, we can just see here, we like literally is just going down. So from here, down, 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 so therefore it's a downtrend. Guys, I'm so sorry about the sniffling and all that, but I'm really just extremely sick, and I'm just trying to get these videos out so that you guys can still like see what I'm thinking, how my trades are going and all that sort of stuff. So we'll just try and continue on. I'm so sorry. Also, there isn't going to be too much because I have like a throbbing headache, like too much editing and all that. But yeah, so continuing on with this video, I saw that it broke this previous support, which was a pretty significant support level. We can see like it gets tested this whole time, and so it ends up dropping all the way down to here, and then it's coming back up and testing this previous zone, this previous level. Now using the fib, I used it from this high down to this low. So I used it from this high to this low to find where my entry would be most likely. Now as I saw that this level here was pretty strong, I thought that an entry around this 0.5 would be pretty suitable. So you can see I essentially entered basically like almost exactly on, let's see how many pips, 2 pips away from the 0.5, so that's like fine. So it's basically nothing. But then we can, so that's where I entered in on this sell opportunity. Now here it says I closed it at 30 pips. I didn't actually let this run. I ended up closing it similar to this, so around 18 pips or around 15 pips, something like that, and I accidentally had that a bit too high. So I closed this at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and I guess just like once again here, I didn't actually trust my sorry, someone joined my Discord. I didn't actually trust my analysis on this pair, so we can just see that if I simply had just let it go all the way down, I could have doubled my profits by letting it hit this take profit and hitting this previous market structure. So I know that those trades were extremely messy, but just summarizing how this week went for me, the week for me went really well. 4 out of the 5 trades went in profit at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And then in terms of some things that I could improve, I just simply need to trust my analysis and just let the trades run so that I can get these 1 to 2 risk to reward ratios, these 3 to 1 risk to reward ratios, and just simply bag those bigger pips. But that's going to be it for my weekly recap. If you do want to check out my streams, once again, just let me know, and I hope to see you guys in there. Anyway, see ya.